Morning. What is up, YouTube? And welcome back to the My Crypto Journey live stream here for Coffee and Crypto on you know what day it is, baby. Let me get it. Let me get it in the chat, baby. It's hump day. Smash that like button. Push us up in the old algorithm, or as I like to say, smash that like button. Every time I type in the comments, I always misspell something and just like send it. So smash the like button. Thanks, Jayhawk, for pointing that out. And I mean, look at the big red bubbles this morning. But I do want to say that we are seeing something pretty interesting. We are seeing the traditional markets start to dump at a faster rate than crypto. Now, I know this looks bad right here, but this is that's a 24-hour time frame, right? That's not like a, a 8-hour time frame or anything like that. It's just 24-hour time frame, right? So obviously we went parabolic the last few days before we're having this pullback, and so what goes up must come down. So we expect this sort of retraction, retracement, whatever the hell you want to call it. We expected this. So this is crazy because we're starting to see it decouple from the actual markets. And before, crypto used to not be coupled with the market, but it is now. And why are the traditional markets taking a little bit of a dump? Well, because the Dow's over 400 points. It's part of the whole Credit Suisse kind of debacle, and we'll get into that here in a second. But first, smash the like button. Let me say hi to the chat, and of course, I got to shout out my sponsors. Shout out to Inu, and of course, Palm. Links to both their products are in the description. Is in the description down below. And today we're doing 2 Volted spaces. So we're having a Volted live Twitter space, giving away $500 of Volt. So if you like Volt or you're about Volt, links to that is in the description down below. At 3 p.m. And at 9 a.m. ish, I'll probably pop over there like around 9:20 after I'm done talking with you guys. We'll head to Jake's stream for a Volted live stream. So if you guys want to come hang out, continue the degeneracy, you could do that later today. But first, I got to say what's up to the chat. What's up, baby? How y'all doing this morning? How'd you guys sleep? My sleep was My back still hurts. I guess this is me getting old. I feel absolutely terrible. So my back is just destroyed. I don't know why. I know why. I've been doing a bunch of deadlifts and shit. So good morning, Javi. How you doing? What's up, Jayhawk? Mizzy Matt. I do taxes for free. Andrew for all. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, Maddie B? Sacco Hunt. Somebody speak to my manager. Uncle Bam Bam. Mr. Dino. Good morning. Good morning. Bud Timbo Slice. SHIB Army in the house. And of course, the question of the day for the poll today is: do you think SHIB will have a big impact on the metaverse? What do you guys think? Will it be a big player in the metaverse, or is it just another gimmick? I want to hear your opinion. We'll talk about SHIB's metaverse here in a second. Good morning. What's up, Brad? We got Edgar. What's up? We got all the whole family here. What's up, My Ultra? What's up, Jason? Tracy G. Eric, it's time. Who else got? What's up, Steve? How you doing, baby? Steve, thank you for the back stretches. I am no one. Good morning. Good morning. I appreciate you. Ronald, good morning. Tony D. Rob got it. We got the whole squad in here. Let's go. Selmo, how you doing, Selmo Fudd? Tyro White, good morning. Good morning. How's everybody's Wednesday so far? I had the bombest. First of all, if you guys are not following me on Twitter, at least my Twitter is in the description down below. I had the bombest protein pancakes this morning. I love me some Kodiak protein pancakes. Now that I'm cutting and stuff and dieting, it's like before I used to snack like bullshit food at night. Now I'm like switching to healthier options, and that's how I do it. Like I don't go all into like completely cutting my calories 100%. I slowly take my time when losing weight and starting a diet, right? Like I was watching Cryptos R Us this morning, as I do every morning, and he's been like just switching diets and stuff like that. And I think the reason why a lot of people fail at diets is because it's too drastic. It's too quick, too much too soon, right? You can't change your entire lifestyle in one day without expecting your body to respond. So like at night, instead of eating like bullshit food, I'm snacking on healthier foods until I really need to cut my calories and whatnot. Like last night, I know it sounds crazy, but I had some black beans, a can of black beans, right, with some like hot sauce in it and some seasoning. And yeah, it doesn't sound good to a lot of people, but that shit bops if you're hungry, right? So I had some black beans last night. I know eat like a poor, right? But here are my protein pancakes. Look at them boys. Look at them boys. Guys, if you're not part of our Telegram, join the Telegram. Links to our Telegram is in the description down below. Follow me on Twitter. You know what I mean? Let's go. Let's go. What's up, Victor? We got the meme. We got the Dogelon Mars fam in the house. What's up? What's up? What's up? I actually thought about getting an actual SHIB dog. How funny would that be? Those dogs are expensive though, right? The SHIB dogs, right? How funny would that be? How funny would that be, right? And of course, we'll go over the CPI data and those sorts of things. We got Buck Nasty. We got everybody in the chat. Let's go, baby. Buck Nasty in the chat. What's up, brother? Aru, yes, USDC looking good. Roddy put his special powder in those flapjacks. Ayy. Nah. I know. So I know, Choco. That's been the feedback I've been getting about Volt from people is that they think that they talk trash and whatnot. I'm not going to trash you. I'm not going to do that. Look I can't control the way other people say things. I get it. I see some things. People send me screenshots of like the Telegram and stuff. Sometimes it can be kind of mean, but that's not how we do it over here. So. And unless you're Saitama, then you can get the smoke all day, every day. What's up, Binrex? How you doing? All right. Let me shut up and let's get to the news. All right, let's talk about the metaverse here because look at Shibarium just launched. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Literally, I'm not being mean, but who cares in the chat? Who cares? Do you care? Have you even went to any of the metaverse website? I mean, Shibarium websites? Huh? Be truthful now. Be truthful now. Who cares, really? Right? Now, I was worried that maybe they blew their wad too soon. What do I mean? Well, out of the sexual context, maybe they put too much. At the beginning of the year. Shibarium was the big thing. But now maybe it's the metaverse. But the thing is, well, who gives a shit about the metaverse right now? I mean, we're being honest, right? Now, SHIB is doing, I'm trying to be nice, but SHIB is literally doing everything, right? SHIB is doing everything that a lot of the meme coins do. Like they do a bunch of, so if you guys don't know, Shiba Inu is one of those meme coins where obviously it's the meme coin, right? The creme de la creme, the meme coin that everyone models their business after. But they're doing the things that everyone else gets shit for. And usually when nothing is like, everything is done, it's like, yeah, we're going to do the metaverse now. You know what I mean? So I know it seems kind of harsh, but that's true. Now, aside from a few, freaking haiku tweets, I guess he's doing haikus now, Shaitoshi. First of all, if Shaitoshi was Sam Bankman-Fried, I would not be surprised. You know what I mean? I wouldn't. I mean, who would, right? Wait, what's this? Hold on. Oh, they have a new website? This is an hour ago. Oh, this is the SHIB. Okay, so SHIB.io to the metaverse. Okay, so this is like the new website. Nice. It just launched. Wow, that was good timing. Good timing. So we see right here, the cool thing that SHIB does is that it does really brand everything pretty nicely compared to other products, right? Like this is really nice. Their new website is nice, even though they didn't need a damn countdown. But this is actually pretty nice to see. Nice. So you can buy your land, watch the trailer. So let's watch the trailer. But what I'm saying is, and then we'll get into like what's going on with SHIB Metaverse, is it's like, well, they created a bunch of tokens that some find useless. So like, why keep creating more besides SHIB? I know I get Bone for, the gas and stuff like that. But, Treat and Leash, probably not needed, right? Probably don't need those sort of things. Weird, pumpy and dumpy, buy the rumor, sell the news things, blatantly lying, saying they're going to launch things. Like they're doing a lot of the things that a lot of the small shit coins are doing. They created a game, like everything, right? Everyone's modeling their business after SHIB. And the funny thing is like the other projects like release their products before SHIB, but SHIB is taking a while because they have to do everything right if you're Shiba Inu, right? Especially if you want to be taken as a serious project going forward, right? You have to do everything right. And that's what they've been doing. It's just like, is anybody going to care? And now what they're tapping into is the metaverse, which to me seems like a year too late. But in their defense, they've really come into their own the last year and a half, I would say. But it seems like it's really late, or maybe it's early, depending on how well the metaverse does. I mean, we have a lot of metaverse projects that we like, right? Like the Decentraland, right? Mana. If you go to their all-time highs, you can see that, these guys all peaked during the last crypto bull run, right? Which makes sense. So same thing with Sandbox, right? Which are all the big players. And an honorable mention is ApeCoin, because although ApeCoin didn't come out to March of last year, it wasn't around during the bull run. I mean, the fact that it's, Yuga Labs, the fact that Ape is was able to get lists on pretty much every major exchange all at once makes it a big player. And their metaverse is called the other side. Of course, you have Sandbox, right? Decentraland and the other side. And now the other player. And of course, there's many other metaverse cryptos, right? We know like MetaMonkey AI in our space, small cap, right? But now we have SHIB saying, well, we're going to try our kind of hand in the metaverse. Now, unlike a lot of these projects, the main utility of SHIB isn't um, it isn't the metaverse. It's something else they're doing. So they're kind of dipping their kind of dipping their pen everywhere. I guess you could say. I don't know if that even makes sense. I guess it can. I guess not dipping your pen in the company ink makes sense. You know what I mean? But they have another thing they're tapping into, and that's why I was thinking like, well, maybe Shibarium is the best thing for SHIB, since it's like it could be their own ecosystem, and part of their own ecosystem could be their metaverse, right? If you're using the metaverse with SHIB and it's on, it's in Shibarium, like it's probably going to be way cheaper to use and mint a land than it is on any other of the metaverses, because they're all Ethereum based tokens. Now, the crazy thing is about all that is, remember during the bull run, it's like $5,000 to mint some NFT, sometimes some land, right? And people don't want to pay for those fees. And I think Jake or another person I know had to pay a lot to mint land in like the and the other side and those sorts of things. So I don't think the video's right here. Let's try to find the video trailer. I know actual SHIB just released one. Let's check that out. That's exactly what is going on. So this is kind of like a video of their metaverse. Not bad. Actually, kind of cool. First of all, Sacco, Javi, are we buying land or are we buying land? I'll buy some land if you guys buy some land. Why not? And shout out to Brad for gifting 1 membership. Thank you so much, Brad. If you received a gifted membership from Brad, I think it was Eric. Make sure to thank Brad. Welcome to The Degenerates. That eggplant looks oh so nice next to your name. Guys, smash the like button. Push us up in the old algorithm, baby. All right, who's doing dog yoga with me? Who's doing doggy yoga? I like it, but this is all just like, I think people can make this, right? Like actually make this. Like one of you guys probably. Some of you smart people out there, right? I don't think this is anything. It's not really showcasing their metaverse, right? I guess maybe this is going to be their metaverse, but no. Gameplay. I want to see gameplay maybe, or like moving around in their metaverse. Bro, this is like a furry's dream, right? Like a furry's dream, right? Am I tripping? That was cool. That was cool. Something about long bridges like that I really like. So it's like, is this it's obviously Japanese themed. I mean, it's cool. I mean, what do you guys think about this? It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. So pretty much a bunch of stills, right? So no like moving around in it. Oh, that's cool. Just another metaverse. I'm not sure if this is the biggest deal or not, right? And of course, this is the panel explaining the opportunities. Let's go ahead and check this out.
Doing the visual effects, so it's really bookend.
Dude, why does everybody in crypto just look so off-brand, like so paper mache? You know what I mean? Like cheap. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys. Like everybody in crypto, they look so like cheap. You know what I mean? Dime says USDC. No, USDC is not going to become the US currency. Absolutely not. CBDCs before that happens. It's just a camera moving around in a 3D image. It's a doggy's world. Yeah, if you're a furry man, I don't know why it's not loading.
The beginning of movie making to the delivery of movie making.
Movie?
Involved with a guy named Ted Galliano, Ted Shibowitz, who were really pioneering what VR looked like for
All right, already tired of listening to this. Okay, so that's the SHIB metaverse. Now, my question is, how is it going to compete with actual metaverses? You know what I mean? How's it going to actually compete with like the Decentralands and Mana? And I think it can, just based on the fact that it's SHIB. Like literally, SHIB people will buy anything or do anything. A lot of these guys say so. Very, very interesting. We'll see what happens, but that's another thing for Shiba Inu. That they're kind of working on. Now, I wonder, is this going to be the next catalyst they're looking at? What's going to be the SHIB's next catalyst? We just had Shibarium come out after I complained for 3 or 4 weeks straight. Sometimes you got to complain to get things done. But it looks like this is going to be their next big push. I just wonder, will this be enough to like really send them during the next bull run? I think SHIB's going to pump during the next bull run. And I know people want it to pump. I saw the comments that people want Shiba Inu to pump, but how much is it going to pump? Is it going to reach its all-time high again? I don't know. This next bull run is going to be very, very interesting, right? We should make like a bet or something like that, or we should all put down like which projects we think are going to pump to their all-time highs and surpass them and dump. I could see a SHIB definitely pumping past its all-time high, but I hope they didn't blow their wad too soon. This is their next big push, so we'll see what the end product looks like when people are actually in the metaverse. Is it going to be like some sort of what is it going to be, like some sort of freaking VR experience? During the XR experience, I don't know. So we'll have to see what's up with that, but we all know that Bone got listed on Polonex, I think Huobi, and Crypto.com. So shout out to the Bone people. I know a lot of people are big on the boners here, so shout out to you guys. Now, this is pretty interesting. So we'll move on to the banking news, since pretty much what could tank the entire market next is the collapse of some banks, right? And that's Credit Suisse Bank. So why is Credit Suisse Bank so important? Well, it's known for strict bank client confidentiality and banking secrecy. The Financial Stability Board considers it to be a globally systematically important bank. Credit Suisse is also a primary dealer of Forex counterparty of the Fed. Credit Suisse was founded in 1856 to fund the development of Switzerland's rail system. And so the big kind of feedback I've been getting on all the news stories I've been watching is that they have to deal with harsher regulatory rules than like actual standard banks, right? Of course, we know like the latest banks to collapse, or not really collapse, get saved, or Signature Bank, SBV, right? And then we had Silvergate, right? Yes, Brad, I'm getting if you guys are not part of the Telegram, the chat wants to get me a crypto Karen wig, which I will wear if you get it for me every time I get pissed. But this was an interesting site that someone drove up a van, which is like not a big deal, right? And put a Bitcoin ad next to Silicon Valley Bank. Now, of course, Silicon Valley Bank kaput, right? Shareholders riggedy wrecked, but if you're a depositor, you are fine. So if you have your money in Credit Suisse Bank, you're going to get your money back. Don't even worry about it. You know what I mean? One of those things. Guys, we have 115 people in here. Smash that like button. Push us up in the old algorithm. Slow a day of news, if we're being honest. Guys, there really ain't much to talk about. And a lot of today's going to be chilling and stuff like that. But this is pretty interesting, right? Be your own bank. And this is why, Bitcoin was made. You know what I mean? This is why Bitcoin exists, right? For situations like these, right? Where, it's like when we put, the power of our fiat in the hands of men, shady things happen, right? But if we have it decentralized, we can't control it, man. Come on, buy more Bitcoin, man. It's the wave, man. But this is pretty cool, right? And of course, we have Mr. Powell, Fed Chair Powell right here with the buy Bitcoin sign. So nice little statement, right? Very, very interesting. And of course, let's get into the whole Credit Suisse situation. So the entire markets are dumping today. If you guys didn't know, the Dow is down over 400 points. It's quite a bit, right? And the crypto is dumping too, but that is dumping at a faster rate. Now, of course, the reason why crypto was dumping is because of Silicon Valley Bank going down, but government stepped in and it saved a lot of people, including USDC, which is a big part of the cryptocurrency world. Like they're just, it's not exactly pegged to $1, but you can see that they're actually surviving right now. And this freaked a lot of people out. But since the government stepped in and, the contagion is going to be controlled, that's it. Right? That's the entire situation. We're good now. But something like a Credit Suisse Bank collapsing could be pretty bad. So today, their stock dropped 28%. Let's watch this news and see exactly what happened.
Fear that would be at the Credit Suisse headquarters, the thousands of Zurich people working for Credit Suisse. What is their angst this morning?
Well, that's hard to say, but the interesting thing to me is like whenever I say something critical about Credit Suisse in the last couple of days on TV, on radio, or in print, then people reached out from inside Credit Suisse to me, like fiercely fighting for their employer and telling me all kinds about like what they're trying to do to make things going better. So that shows me there are still like passionate people at Credit Suisse. The management so far not so passionate, and if you have your stock like tumbling that much, I mean, like I guess I would be concerned working for the bank, because you simply don't know what's going to happen next, especially as this is not an isolated issue anymore. We are now moving into a more broader banking recession problem, and that's why Credit Suisse is down 20% and the others are only down 8 or 10%, because the bank now has to fight like another fire on its balance sheet, I would say, and on its earnings, and that makes the turnaround where we yesterday heard give us 3 years. I would say this 3 years has now gone to 6 years, maybe.
Jan Patrick.
Now, what's interesting about these situations is that like they're in an interesting predicament, right? Because you know what we've learned is that when shit hits the fan, right, it's not the shareholders that are protected; it's the depositors. And so if you held a bunch of like Silicon Valley Bank stock or any other bank stock because you listen to Jim Cramer, you're probably feeling like crap, especially if you held or maybe bought the dip all the way down. So it's like, do you sell right now? You know, especially we found out that some of these top executives that were working for Silicon Valley Bank are being investigated by the SEC because mysteriously before the collapse, maybe they knew, maybe they didn't, they sold some of their shares for millions of dollars, and they're executives. So if I work at, you know, Credit Suisse or any bank, or I'm a shareholder, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to sell a lot of my shit just in case, so I can protect myself, because if this collapses, well, you know, this is not a U.S. bank, and I'm sure there's insurances for it, but they're not going to reimburse the shareholders, right? That's the game of investing. You buy a project, it rugs or it takes a shit, then you're screwed, right?
How shocked are you to hear the words from the Saudi National Bank chairman this morning to Bloomberg? How shocked were you by that language?
Absolutely not. I mean, the language was hard when he says absolutely not going into this. But I mean, think about it. They took part in the capital raise 3 months ago. The stock's down 50% since then.
Jeez.
I mean, like, if you are a responsible asset manager everywhere on the world, you're not going like, yeah, sure, let's ship in another $1 billion down the road here. That's not going to happen. So it makes total sense for me that he says, like, at this point, no, thank you. We have put enough money into this bank. Now they need to show to make it work. And again, given all the other stuff.
So they're raising capital, you know what I mean? And it's not doing anything, you know? Scary. This could be another black swan event that could take down all the markets, right? Even crypto. We'll see. We're still waiting for that event, man. It's looking like if the Federal Reserve doesn't do much, and we'll get into the CPI data here soon, then that could have been the bottom. We'll see, though. Let's continue.
Stuff happening around the bank. Why should you take this risk? It's a horrible risk-reward profile at this point.
Jan Patrick, right now I'm looking at the credit default swaps on Credit Suisse, which have blown out. That means the price that people are demanding to insure against some sort of default in Credit Suisse has gone through the roof to the highest levels that we've seen going back in history. What is the potential consequence of this for the European banking system? Are people starting to game that
Could
out
get ugly.
of how this will look?
Well, it's a massive issue, and especially for Credit Suisse, I would say, because like now you are getting attacked from all sides. You're getting attacked from probably the central banks when they stop hiking rates, so all the rates benefits are going to fade out. Then you're getting attacked from the economic side with like your loan loss provisions most likely are going up. Then you're getting attacked from your refunding side, especially as Credit Suisse, where you have to pay higher rates to refund your business. So this overall is not great time for banking stocks, and that's why we are seeing them being sold right now. The last 3 to 4 months, everybody was taking a very comfortable position in the overall equity market, but especially in European banks, thinking like we get a grinding down of inflation, everything is safe, we get a soft landing, the economy is still doing fine, earnings are doing fine. And this whole scenario is now gone. And that's why the market reaction is so hard, in my view, because now you have to massively reprice what the economy will look like 12 months down the road. And that's why you see banking stocks, no bids there, because that's the first line of defense. Why would you own this stock moving into such a scenario? I don't see it.
Jan Patrick, do we have any intelligence whatsoever about
Intelligence?
what wealth management clients are doing? Right?
Intelligence? What is he, a fucking CIA agent?
now, whether people are trying to withdraw their money or whether they're staying with Credit Suisse and saying, we appreciate the products that you provide and we're going to be your clients for a longer period of time.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. If
Well, I guess
I'm a
it doesn't
client, I
really
don't know.
matter. I mean, like if they take away the money or if they just like put it into a safe space, the consequence for the Credit Suisse will be the same. I'm not so much concerned that they are losing deposits that have a liquidity issue. I would say there are other options in Europe where they can get liquidity from, and I'm pretty sure central banks will provide that. But the bigger issue here is like, no matter what way your wealth management clients are doing, they will reduce risk. That means less fees, that means less revenue, that means less earnings, that means less prospects for the stock price. So again, why buy the share in this situation? No incentive whatsoever.
Exactly, right? Oh my God, Jim Pickard, who are you, man? So that's the issue going down with Credit Suisse. So if if something happens with that, I mean, we're seeing the same trends, right? As Silicon Valley Bank stock dumped a shit ton in a day. So we'll see what happens, but man, very, very interesting. So Javi says, first of all, smash the like button, push it up in the old algorithm. Chill stream today, but the theories have been that there are going to be no interest rate hikes. That'd be crazy to me. Right? We'll see what happens, but that's very, very interesting. And I saw someone with a comment down here saying, there was a company that knew that SB was going down. They withdrew their money before it collapsed. Definitely insider trading, shady as well. Yeah, you guys, if you don't think there's any insider trading going on, you're out of your mind. Of course there is, right? Of course there is. Selmo says the key to land in the metaverse. Yeah, exactly. In order to make your metaverse work, you need people in there. Like the reason why Decentraland and Sandbox were so big, and like people like Chase and Snoop Dogg and all these crazy figures were buying land there and stuff like that because lots of traffic, right? Man, if you ever think you're going through a hard time, you think you have it bad, there are a lot of people that have it worse than you. And I know it's not good to think to celebrate other people's you're not celebrating any people's like mishaps, but it's good to just be grateful for what you have, right? Just be grateful for what you have. I always think about that. Always be grateful for what you have, because some of these people, and I know that now the deposits are okay, but shareholders and a lot of people are just like their entire net worth wiped the fuck out because of these situations, right? So if you ever think you have it bad and you lost a bunch of money on a shit coin and stuff like that, yeah, maybe stop spending money on shit coins, but someone always has it a little worse. So put things into perspective, right? Make sure you're happy. I mean, I wake up every day sometimes and I'm like, I have all my limbs for now. You know what I mean? That makes me so happy. You know what I mean? But we have to get into the inflation news because this is going to be a very, very big deal. And of course, this is from Clear Value Text. Now, Clear Value Text is a guy we've been following for a while. I'm part of his Patreon, and he's been spot on every single time. Now, we've been waiting for a big dump, but we haven't seen that huge dump we've been waiting for in the cryptocurrency world. I mean, we saw about 16K Bitcoin after the collapse of FTX, but we figured that Bitcoin would dump more. Now, since we've seen about low 19,000s, but nothing lower than that, especially since the government stepped in and saved pretty much crypto, right? Because we saw BlockFi with the exposure, and we saw USDC with the exposure to Silicon Valley Bank, even though they would have been fine. Let's check out the Clear Value Tax video on the inflation report released yesterday, because we had good numbers. 6.0 was good yesterday, but a lot of people think that it's not enough, right? That we need to fight inflation more, right? We need to have a bigger impact on inflation. But I thought 6.0 was as expected and good. So what is the Federal Reserve going to do now that they know they're actually tackling inflation? Let's see.
Inflation report for the month of February was released this morning. It came in at 6.0%. So I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about inflation, what was in this report. Today is Tuesday, March 14th, and I hope you're having a very nice day.
Yeah, baby.
In January, the rate of inflation was at 6.4%. In February...
Oh, here we go. Oh, actually, so we just had brand new news. So check this out. So Credit Suisse asked central bank for a public show of support. That's interesting. And we see right here. No bueno. It's actually kind of a big deal. So more developing news on the Credit Suisse. Dude, we better not wake up tomorrow morning and Credit Suisse is just done. You know what I mean? Let's continue.
inflation fell down to 6.0. So this was in line with market expectations. So ultimately, there are no surprises. So the stock market is breathing a sigh of relief. The stock market is happy and it's up. Month over month, inflation rose by 0.4%. So that's not good. But year over year, inflation fell. However, what that means month over month is that inflation is showing signs of revival. So ultimately, this report, it came in okay. It wasn't great. It wasn't horrific. So it was okay. Now, in today's video, I'm going to cover the actual CPI inflation reports. In a separate video, I'm going to cover the consequences of the CPI inflation reports on the stock market and on the Federal Reserve's decision that they're going to make on March 22nd, the FOMC meeting. However, it's very important to know what is it.
Thank you, Summers, for the $5 donation. I do appreciate you. Smash that like, ladies and gentlemen. Push us up in the old algorithm. We have 160 people in here. We're at 49 likes. Let's get to 70 likes. Let's go, baby. What's up, fan? How you doing, baby?
Inside this CPI inflation report, because at that meeting on March 22nd, you're going to see Jerome Powell at the press conference, and he's going to be citing a lot of things from this report. He's going to be citing services, ex housing. He's going to be citing core. He's going to be citing shelter inflation, etc. So here's a breakdown of the year over year stats. Energy prices are up 5.2%. Services, ex housing, up 7.3%. Shelter inflation up 8.1%. Food inflation up 9.5%. Now we're going to break down these categories.
And let me know in the chat, are you feeling the effects of inflation at all on your grocery bill, at the gas tank? Where are you guys feeling it the most? Rent, housing? Where are you guys feeling it the most? Right now, I know I got my rent raised about $200 recently, the last couple of months, which is a big raise. They haven't been that crazy ever, really. And when it comes to raises, and then I know that the cost of food has gone down. I don't pay for gas anymore with the Tezzy. But first of all, Tesla superchargers, like literally, it's not that much better than gas. It's better than gas, but not that much better. Anyways, yeah. So what are you guys feeling it the most?
Categories one by one, because ultimately these are the more important categories.
Groceries, okay. Everybody, most of the people has groceries.
So starting with food.
And thank you, Summers, for the coffee.
An inflation rate of 9.5%. That is still unacceptably high. We know that consumers are getting hit hard by inflation. Ultimately, expenses are rising faster than wages or income. The data from the Fed shows that. So just think about that. Food inflation at 9.5%. That is extremely high, unacceptably high.
So it looks like right here, it looks like a lot of you guys can, food is killing you guys, right? That's what it looks like. And me too, I've been buying more groceries lately, less Postmates. Thank God. Be degenerate with Postmates. But yeah, same thing. I came out of that grocery store the other day and I posted that picture and you guys were, really thought the value of the food was way less. But I do eat like a lot of healthy foods that are kind of pricey, but still, man, like, God damn, you know what I mean? Like, Jesus Christ. I'm sure a lot of people can relate to this. Like the cost of like existing compared to the wage growth is like way slower. I mean, look at where things were at 50 years ago. I know a lot of boomers always roast Gen Z or millennials or whatever, but it's like, we don't have it like they had it, right? A single person can't own a house here in San Diego. I mean, you can if you make bank, but you better be making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. You know what I mean? Especially if you want to travel and live a fulfilling life. You know what I mean? If you like to travel and shit and do things. It's crazy. And that's taken into account if you have no debt, which is highly unlikely, right?
So here are the year-over-year stats. Milk up 8.1%. Coffee up 11.4%. Bread up 15.8%. Butter up 20.7%. Eggs up 55.4%.
55 still?
So this was just a quick glance of the items that were reported. Let me know in the comments down below what you're seeing, what items that you're seeing that are still skyrocketing up like crazy. Moving on to energy. Energy is up 5.2%. Year over year, the price of electricity is up 12.9%. Utility gas service is up 14.3%.
You know what's scary though? You know what's really scary, guys, is to see like what our electric bills are going to be in the summertime if you live in a hot place. Because I use the AC, I be blasting that bitch all day. Ooh, it's gonna be a scorcher.
So gasoline and diesel prices, those have remained flat month over month. But the stats, if you think about it, they're getting a boost because if you look at gasoline and diesel prices, they were much higher in February of 2022, if you remember. But then after that, so we're talking about a few months ahead, few months down the line, improvements in the year-over-year figures for energy, it's going to become more difficult. So just keep that in mind for the next few CPI reports. Now let's take a look at shelter. So shelter inflation is up 8.1%. It was 7.9% in January. So shelter inflation is going up on paper in the CPI reports. So as I explained in my previous video, I don't know if you caught this or not, we're not going to see improvements in shelter inflation for another 3 months, at least not meaningful improvements in the figures. So it has to do with the way that shelter inflation is calculated in the CPI reports. So I'm going to explain that more in depth in my housing video. I'm hoping to have that up by the end of this week. But ultimately, there's a lag effect. So shelter inflation, it's slower to rise up and it's slower to fall down. It's just the way it works. There's a lag effect. They smooth it out. So moving on to services X housing, that is up 7.3%. So this one is very important. This one's probably one of the bigger categories that the Federal Reserve is looking at, and you're going to see the Federal Reserve citing this figure a lot at the press conference. So this is because we're talking about the labor market. The Federal Reserve, they've been concerned for quite some time, about the overheating in the labor markets, and it's basically the supply and demand imbalance for workers. So employee shortages, they create higher wage inflation. So we saw big job gains in January. We saw over 500,000 jobs created. That was the January figures. In February, we added 311,000 jobs.
Damn.
So this is why we're seeing services X housing still elevated at 7.3%, above the 6.0 headline and way above the 2% target that the Fed is looking for. Now, I want to tell you about inflation expectations. And these are the expectations of the general public. And expectations, they're very important because it influences behavior. And that's going to impact demand, and that's going to impact inflation. So according to the Federal Reserve Bank of New York microeconomic data for February, people still have the expectation that the rate of inflation will fall sharply in the short run. So ultimately, people are expecting inflation to fall relatively quickly. When it comes to the labor market, the report shows that 39% of people believe that unemployment will be higher 12 months from now. It was actually at 41% in January, so people are actually being more optimistic about the labor markets. So the results were skewed for people with a college education and annual household income greater than $100,000 a year. Yeah. So basically, white-collar people, they were much more confident that they're going to be in better shape when it comes to the labor markets, looking 12 months out ahead. So this was actually a big contrast from January, where white-collared employees felt that they were at a higher risk of being laid off. So now they're being more optimistic. Now, I want to share this one with you. I thought this was very interesting. This is regarding household finances. So the report shows that households are expecting that their spending will slow down even further in 2023. It's now fallen for 4 months straight. So I'm going to read you these figures, these stats, and the smaller numbers, the lower numbers, they just indicate that households are expecting to spend less money. Median household spending growth expectations, it fell from 6.9% in November to 5.9% in December to 5.7% in January, and it's now fallen to 5.6% in February. The decline in spending expectations, it was across all age groups and all income levels. This means that people are expecting to be tighter with their budgets.
Makes sense.
Now, I thought that this one was very important. This one is eye-opening. It shows you the reality of the situation. And this one aligns with all the other data that's coming from the Federal Reserve. So it is expected that growth in household income, so we're talking about income. So it was at 3.3% in January. In February, it fell to 3.2%. Income growth, 3.2%. So think about that. Household income is expected to grow at 3.2%, but what's the rate of inflation? It was We're talking about the
That's
inflation report. It was cited at 6.0%.
Damn,
Income
that's
grows
crazy.
at 3.2%. Expenses and inflation is growing at 6%.
Damn.
Real wage growth is negative. Obviously, this is bad.
When does this come to a screeching halt, right? When does this come to a screeching halt? Like, there's no, like, when did we get to a point where, like, you know, I mean, I have many friends out here who have like 4 roommates, you know, especially chicks. Like, everyone has roommates. Like, no one lives by themselves because they can't. That's crazy.
Okay, so do you see what I'm saying here? That's why when the politicians or the government officials say that wage growth is booming, it really gets to me because that is a false depiction of what's really going on, because real wage growth is negative. Income is not keeping up with the rate of inflation.
The thing about
So I want to take a minute here to ask you how you're doing. How are you, or how is your household holding up against all this inflation? Are you in a better spot than you were last year, or are you worse? What items have you seen that have been shooting up in price like crazy? I know we covered the most basic items, but if you're seeing other items or services even just shooting up like crazy, please let us know in the comments down below. So
I'd say, like, my roommate is my Glock 9. Hey, you know, I think the biggest thing I've seen, like, right now is rent. I mean, I don't know electricity because I don't use any electricity really. I mean, except for, you know, the office. But besides that, I have like one light on and then maybe my fan. That's about it. But the summertime's probably gonna kick all of our asses, especially if you're in a hot place. And, you know, in California, we start getting like 80-degree days and 90-degree days, like somewhere around May, June, July. You know, of course, August. Those months. But food has been going up like crazy. I mean, I buy a lot of beef, 93.7 organic ground beef, and that's gone up significantly. Like, just paying for the beef alone is like $150 for like 2 weeks or a week, you know? So I am feeling the effects right there. Thank God I have the Tesla. I mean, the Tesla, you know, I don't drive a lot and I leased it. I think since I got my lease in like December, and I've driven like 1,700 miles. So that's like nothing, right? It's almost, that's 5 months for 17. That's crazy. Or 4 months. I don't know, whatever. But crazy. All right. Crypto Snack says, oh, you're in Imperial Valley? Oh, yeah, Crypto Snack. Yeah, Imperial, that's El Centro. Yeah, I'm all right in the area. I used to work in El Centro sometimes, but 90 to 105. Yeah, a lot of y'all need, right? A lot of y'all need an AC. Well, Brad, it's because I don't use the electricity at my house, but I do use the supercharger. I drive to a supercharger. I have a garage charger or a charger for my Tesla. It's just that I live in an apartment building and that will like literally wreck the entire place, I think. So let's continue with the video.
Apparently, goods inflation.
Whoa! I did text for free. Says I got a friend that makes $35 an hour and he still needs a roommate. Damn, is that like what 60-70K a year? How much is that? Right?
It has been slowing down, but the cost of services is still running very hot. So I'm just asking because, I mean, you never know with these surveys, because these surveys, if you didn't know, they ask sometimes even hundreds of people, but usually it's about 1,000 people, maybe 2,000 people. But even in that scenario, I think that is a very small sample size.
It is.
And it may not be accurate or, you know, reflective of.
I hope they do when they do their samples. I hope they're interviewing all types of people, because what we're noticing about all this situation is that people who have like an excess of income are fine. They don't really care about what's going on right here. It's just like a small picture. You know, but the people that are, you know, lower income are really feeling the effects of everything, because you feel every dollar percentage raise on groceries. You feel that, you know what I mean? You feel every single dollar for gas, you know, especially if you're living paycheck to paycheck. You feel that, right? You feel you see your credit card debt and credit card, you know what I mean? Debt going up and those sorts of things. Like, you start to feel that stuff, you know? But if you don't have any of that stuff and, like, you know, spending a few extra percentages on fucking groceries doesn't affect you, then it's not a big deal, right? So hopefully they have a big, diverse kind of sample size or sample pool
of the true situation. Now, let me give you the latest forecast for 2023. We're going to talk about GDP, unemployment, and inflation. So starting with GDP, there are 4 scenarios in play. So honestly, it's very divided. Opinions are all over the place. So let me know what you think is the most probable. So we're going to start off with, so no particular order, we're going to start off with a deeper recession. So a deeper recession, this is for people that are saying this, they're saying that GDP will fall 2 to 4%. There's a mild recession. So in that scenario, this is where GDP will fall around 1%. There's a soft landing scenario. This is where we maintain positive GDP, somewhere in the range of 0%, so flat, to 2% growth. And then there's the no landing scenario. This is where the economy just blasts off. Greater than 2% GDP growth. Again, let me know what you think. Now let's talk unemployment. The rate of unemployment is expected to stay below 5% in 2023. That is the consensus. However, if we get close to 5%, that's still going to be 2 million Americans losing their jobs.
Jeez.
The U.S. economy is still adding a good amount of jobs. The February report, the jobs report, it showed that we added 311,000 jobs, which was much more than the 225,000 expectation. But the unemployment rate, it's been ticking up because more people are looking for jobs. When it comes to inflation, the Federal Reserve is saying that we're going to get to 3% inflation by the end of this year. The target range, of course, is 2% inflation. The Federal Reserve, they're being very adamant about that. They're not willing to revise that higher. They're saying, no, it's going to be 2% inflation. So it was my expectation that we're going to really have trouble bringing down inflation when we get to the 5% range. So, I mean, 4.5% to 5.5%, around the 5% range. It's going to be tough. I'm still sticking with my belief that at the 5% range, inflation will be stickier. So I refer a lot to my old video. So I'm talking about the inflation video that I made about 8 months ago in July. I gave an analysis on the history of inflation in similar scenarios and similar circumstances. My prediction was that on average, well, this is what history shows. It takes about 2 years for inflation to get back down to ordinary levels. So I'm saying this to just manage your expectations. We're trying to get inflation to normal levels.
2%.
And we're on track to probably do that by sometime around summertime of 2024.
Let's go, baby.
So hopefully we continue to see improvements, but it's going to be a process. And higher than usual inflation, expect that to linger around for about 15 more months. That's my baseline scenario. So just to clarify, I'm saying this under the assumption that you agree with me that June of last year, that was the peak inflation rate.
Yeah,
not peak inflation. Inflation is still going up. It's just not going up as fast. But we peaked out in June of last year. So that's the timeline that I'm going off of. So I hope this gives you a good sense of where we're at and where we're headed with inflation. Please look forward to my next video on how this inflation report is going to affect the Federal Reserve decision, the meeting on March 22nd. So on that day, that's the FOMC meeting. So the big question is, are they going to raise interest rates or will they take a pause? Because now we're dealing with the bank collapses and now we have the final piece, which is the February CPI inflation report. So please look forward to that video. Please subscribe. I thank you for all the support.
So, of course, clear value tax actually, it looks like he's considering the opinion, the possibility of them not raising interest rates at all, because it looks like obviously the interest rate hikes are fucking with the banks too, right? Obviously, right? And so that's an interesting stance, you know what I mean? And so many things have happened the last few weeks that are really it's kind of changing the, you could say hypothesis or thesis, or some of these people that, including myself, that the market's going to take a big shit. Which it could happen, it could not happen. We'll see what happens the rest of this month and next month, and who knows, especially with cryptocurrency, who knows, when the biggest big black swan event is going to happen, and if the government is going to step in to save them, right? Because that big dump we were looking for was the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank, and of course the other banks and the contagions to dump the entire cryptocurrency market. Now USDC, I'm glad it's saved because I have a lot of friends who lost a lot of money, or who have a lot of money in USDC and would have lost a lot of money. But it's like, does the government step in to, help the natural, the natural scenario play out because of what's going on in the background? Like, do we keep bailing out banks? Is this really capitalism? I don't know. But someone asked a very good question. Well, Cobra says reality is it's going to take a while to get exactly. It's going to take a while to get out of this mess. We had that pure ecstasy of like the freaking market absolutely sending during the pandemic when nothing made sense, right? Like there's no reason why the market should have sent like that, but they did. Right. Eric says, "Meet Kevin said banks failing is good for Bitcoin." What do you? Yeah, 100%. Well, Bitcoin is the reason why it was out of the 2008 financial collapse. The Bitcoin was born, right? Because of what bank, because of big banks. So yeah, 100%. Meet Kevin's right. Meet Kevin's 100% correct on that. 100% correct. What do you guys think? Yeah, that's the case for Bitcoin. Is hey, don't trust banks. You know what I mean? Don't trust banks. Bitcoin is decentralized. It has no country. It has no, it has a creator, but it has no like set of executives. You have, you know what I mean? It's very, very important to understand that like Bitcoin is its own thing. Free says when Jerome said transitory, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. You know what I mean? Crazy. Crazy. I mean, here's the truth of it is, right? No matter what happens, we're going to have some clear winners in 2024 or near the end of this year. I think the market's going to pump. All right, Maddie B, have a good day, Maddie B. Thanks a lot for hanging out with us. And it's like all coins are going to make people rich. Meme coins, other small cap cryptos that are not meme coins, gaming cryptos, regular blue chip cryptos. Like the crypto's going to make people money, but along the way there are going to be the collapses, right? We're going to see people just get wrecked and those sorts of things and just go under. And because if there are more harder times to come, then what else breaks, right? Because the Federal Reserve is over here trying to fuck things up, right? That's their job, right? They're trying to break things, kind of in a way, right? And we're seeing things start to break here and there. But banks, man, woo, something about banks that drive people crazy, right? It's like, the governor of California yesterday, there's a big story saying that he had ties to Silicon Valley Bank. And he does. His wife has like 3 companies that have their depositors pretty much, right? But he's the governor of California, and he lobbied to get the bank saved. Now, he's in an interesting predicament, and I can't get mad at Gavin Newsom. I don't like Gavin Newsom, I guess I would say. I just think he's one of those, all politicians, a bunch of schmucks, you know what I mean? These people, like, they don't care about, I truly do not think most of these politicians do not care about us. Anyways, he lobbied to get Silicon Valley Bank, a bailout. But if you're the governor of California and your wife has 3 accounts, it's like, well, maybe you should lead with that because it's illegal to do that. You can't do that. It breaks laws and rules and that we have in place. But he's also the governor of California, and one of the largest bank collapses in history is about to happen. You want to lobby to get that bank saved. So interesting, predicament for Gavin Newsom. It's like, yeah, I mean, we're trying to break the economy and big banks failing, is probably not the best thing for a lot of people. It would wreck a lot of people. And the unfortunate thing is like when we want to break the economy by raising interest rates and have like, people lose their jobs and, mom and pops go down, small businesses go down, or maybe you get in a crisis where, you get in an accident, you have to use your credit card to pay for all the debt. But, credit card debt's like the worst debt because it's like the interest rates are so high. It's like, there's no bailouts for the average Joe. Like if we're going to break everything, but banks go down, we're going to bail them out and say, fuck the little guy, like what's up with that? Now, obviously, the bank bailout isn't all, sunshine and rainbows for people involved, with the banks because the depositors are fine, but of course the shareholders are absolutely riggedy wrecked. But it's like it's capitalism light. It's like we want to save the banks, but we don't want to save the little guy, and just the nature of the beast, right? It's just the name of the game, nature of the beast. So, I mean, what do you guys think about all that? I think it's kind of telling and interesting. We all knew the word transit. That is true, Steve. Yeah, dollar cost averaging is always the way to go. I do see Bitcoin taking a fat dump again, 100%. We'll see if the government steps in though this time. Brad says, I think all we can do is look back at the past for clues as to what might happen and apply current circumstances and assume the worst. 100%, Brad. 100%. Always buy Bitcoin. Yeah, you should always buy Bitcoin. If you guys are putting everything into one crypto, that's a mistake. I mean, do what you want, unless it's Bitcoin. Do what you want, but I think that doing those sorts of things like is bad. Even if you like really love one crypto, try to diversify a little bit. Yeah, 99.99% of crypto is going bye-bye. I believe that. Cold storage wallet is the new bank. 100%. Get a ledger. I have a bunch. Just hanging around. Do you think the collapse of banks will be good for meme coins like Tectonic? Well, Tectonic's not really a meme coin, and Tectonic is a kind of like a banking thing. You could borrow. Yeah, I guess so. You could borrow and lend, your crypto or money. But the thing about this is like, since there's no credit checks in DeFi, you usually have to put collateral, right? Collateral's just there just in case your ass gets liquidated, which a lot of you little degenerates would. So Tectonic's a good project. I like it. But a lot of it's riding on the popularity of the Kronos chain and how well they market, right? How well they decide to market. Frida says, just pay my credit cards all to zero. Thank God. Love it. Love it. What's up, Marco? How you doing? Good morning. Good morning. Duncan says, why do you believe 99% of crypto is going bye-bye soon? That's an awful lot. Well, here's the thing, Duncan. When you look at the overall cryptocurrency market, you look at like all coin market cap, and obviously not everything's ranked correctly. We see like all these big crypto projects and we think like, oh, most of these are going to go bye-bye. This is not what we're really talking about. There's like, how many rows in here? There's 100 rows, I guess they're ranking. We're not talking about that because these are cryptos too. But if you go to something like a DEX tools, right, and you look at just like live new pairs, which are all the cryptos being created every fucking on the Ethereum chain, right? Look at literally the last how many minutes were the last 30 minutes. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cryptos being created on the Ethereum blockchain in the last 30 minutes. And most of these, if you just go back, you can see a lot of these are negative 100, 0, or like some weird gray number. They're rug pulls, right? So this increases the overall cryptocurrency world. And that's what we mean by 99.99% is most of the cryptos. Not I'm talking about all the coin market cap ones. I'm talking about all the shit coins created every single day that are all scams, right? This one's called WagMe. This one's called NASA, Viper Dodge, Gags, Bone, like all these random. And this is just on the Ethereum blockchain. So if we switch over to freaking the like the BNB chain, you can see all the live new pairs listed on the BNB chain, Binance's blockchain, right? And it's the same deal on every one. It's like a minus 100. And this one's had way more than 30 tokens or way more than 10 tokens come out in the last 30 minutes. So this is what we mean. This is what we mean. Brad says, buying Bitcoin is great, but don't neglect the guns, ammo, gas, water, and food. We might get Mad Max. Yeah, I always think it's important. Like, I know a lot of people don't like guns and they're scared of guns, but like I used to, serve in the Natty Guard a little bit. Nothing crazy. I don't have any cool, crazy wars. I didn't really get deployed at all ever. So kind of like military light, if that. So, but what was cool about that situation is I got to be around guns a lot and it made me comfortable. And I have guns, in my apartment, even I'm in California. I think that it's important to be able to defend yourself. You know what I mean? Now, obviously, a lot of people do a lot of crazy shit. It's unfortunate. I don't know what to do about that. I'm not a politician. I don't know how to fix these crazy problems. So, I'm not in charge of that. But I think it's good to be able to protect yourself. So learn how to shoot. FOMO Toshi says, imagine if there was no war in the Ukraine, banks collapse news could be in crypto way more bullish divergent. I mean, that's true, FOMO. The war is a big issue because we're spending so much money on that war. I wonder how much money we spent in that war. I mean, I'm sure the numbers are out there the last year, we spent a lot on those wars. I mean, the Ukraine war and stuff like that. Saitama going to start a bank? Oh, Lord. Nugget says, well, yeah, of course, the majority will die out. The vibes I got from 99% of crypto going to goodbye was that y'all were suggesting it wouldn't be possible to ape future products. No. When crypto pumps again, ERC20 tokens are going to pump. You're going to get because Sam Bankman-Fried went on record. CoffeeZilla made a video about him describing, it's called accidentally describing your company as a Ponzi scheme, right? That's a Sam Bankman-Fried. Before the collapse of FTX, CoffeeZilla called him out on that. But SBF has a point. What's his point? Just like meme coins. Usually when something pumps in price, like a typical stock on the stock market, right? Aside from speculation, because speculation is what this is going to do in the future, and that's different because that's still a use case. The issue is, it's usually things on the stock market add value. And so that's why we buy the stock. We buy the share because it adds value to our life, because it's creating a service to people that helps their life or whatever, right? Anything that has value, right? Some meme coins, the only value they have in most meme coins, right, that came out was how much money can they make us, which creates an interesting problem. Well, it's the greater fool problem. Obviously, if say, for example, a cryptocurrency project has 10,000 holders, and you're part of the first 100 holders. Everybody after you is going to make the value of your shares in that cryptocurrency project way, way higher, right? So you're pretty much it's and so it's like greater fool theory, right? So the person who got in the earliest can cash out and make a lot of money, but the people who get in late, or maybe on the pump, or maybe when it gets to the media, like they're just exit liquidity, and that's what meme coins are. Now there's value in that, but there's no long-term value. Those opportunities are going to come back. There's going to be a next big meme coin. There's going to be a next, a 10,000x that some random guy is going to make by putting $100 into some poopy butt Inu token. Those are going to happen again. But those, you have to understand that those are here for a good time and not a long time. Exactly, ASMR fan, Ponzi scheme. And the way you use those is to get in, make your money. First have a plan, get in, make your money, and get out, right? You know what I mean? That's the goal. That's the goal of it. Because if your goal is to hodl some shitcoin like until for years and years, and pretend like it's some sort of like good investment, like an actual like stock like Tesla, or even like a good crypto like Bitcoin or Ethereum or BNB, like that's the wrong mindset to have in these cryptos. It's just that they're so much more stressful because like literally crypto's 24/7, and I've been a part of projects where like I've aped into these projects. I've been up like 500%. I go get a haircut and I come home and it's fucking down like to the price before I bought it. So like it's super volatile, and you have to stay in the crypto space to make sure you don't get rugged, which is stressful for a lot of people, or unrealistic because a lot of people have jobs. But you're going to get the Saitamas, the Shibnobis, the Terrariums, the projects that have Saitama does, right? But some projects don't have any value at all and they're just gone. You know what I mean? But they made a lot of people a lot of money on the way up, and it's good for something, right? So just understand how to do that. Have a plan. And what you don't want to do is don't sit in telegrams, unless it's my telegram. Links to my telegram is in the description down below, and worship projects. Like that'll make you lose so much money. Because here's the thing. Half these motherfuckers that run these meme coins, that are like big ambassadors of these meme coins, they're selling and they're encouraging you not to sell. Don't do that. Walk to the beat of your own drum. You know what I mean? Walk to the beat of your own drum. Do that. Don't hold the bag. Like if you're up 1,000x or 100x, it's like, dude, you got to take profits, man. I've seen so many people tell me, I lost $100,000 because I didn't take profit. I lost $200,000 because I didn't take profit. I lost $500,000, because I didn't take profit. Yeah. It's like, do not do that, dude. Yes, fan, I have a TG. Links to the TG is in the description down below. It's me and Jake's TG. You know what I mean? Like, like you have to walk to the beat of your own drum. What's up, Sebastian? How you doing, baby? Walk to the beat of your own drum. Have your own brain. And look at the thing is, like, a lot of us, I think we're going to get the second chances. We're going to get those second chances during the next bull run. But don't be fooled again. Here's the issue. You get into a project, you 10x, and you're like, fuck. You know what I mean? You're like, I don't know if I should take profits or not, but my goal was to 10x, and I 10x, and it's like, and then the next day it rugs, and you're like, shit. Or the next day it pumps, and you feel bad for taking profits. But if the outcome is income, then you never lose. Right? So just keep in mind. Yeah, fan, join the Telegram. What the hell? What's up, Racket Club? How you doing? Good morning. 100 says, what is your strategy, Rodney? I have an issue with meme coins. So last time I aped with 0.2 pumped to 1.2 and thought it would be pumped more, but ended up crashing to 0.4. What mindset should I have? So 100x altcoin, the mindset is to have a plan. The first plan you need to realize is that, look at that, for some people, that's like what that's a nice little X right there. 100x altcoin was like a 10x ish, or a 5x ish. Yeah. 2, 4, 6. Yeah. Like a 5 or 6x. That's not bad, but it depends what your plan was, and then think about it with meme coins. It depends how much money you put in. 0.2 ETH. What is that? Like, it's not a lot, right? But it's a decent amount. What about taxes? What about slippage? What about front running bots? Like all those sorts of things are important. You know what I mean? Are you making sure you're putting in zeros after your like whole, not whole numbers, but zeros after when you're buying the meme coin or selling the meme coin to making sure your transaction doesn't fail, and you could put lower slippage, right? Because if you're putting 15% slippage or 20% slippage, it's like plus taxes, you might barely make anything. So you have to have a plan before you go in. What's your plan? But the first thing you should realize is that it's a shit coin and I could lose all my money. So remember that. It's a shit coin, I could lose all my money. Obviously, even if it's not a quote unquote shit coin, you could still lose all your money. So it's important to understand that too, right? Keep that in mind. If it's a shit coin, I might just lose all my money and never have anything again. So that's the best way. Have a plan, right? And then stick to the plan. So if your plan was the 5x and you 5x, get the hell out of there, right? Get out of there. I mean, at least you made a little money. I'm not sure if you made money after taxes. And then keep in mind also capital gains taxes. Now, I know a lot of you guys live in different countries. A lot of you guys don't have the same rules. But if you're American, you got to make sure you're keeping a track of what gains you make in that. So 30% capital gains tax or 20% capital gains tax. Then slippage, right? Then taxes. So this is a lot, like actual token taxes. So there's a lot that goes into that strategy. That's why it's always good on a bigger bag. So if you put in $1,000 into a project and you're like, your goal is just to hodl it till the wheels fall off because you feel like gambling $1,000 and you get to 100x, and you have 100K in a crypto. Well, obviously you have some more breathing room there. Like say if you sell, 100 grand of that $1,000, or you sell it all, right? But you're able to get all 100 grand for some reason. You know what I mean? Well, you have more room to kind of breathe. Like even if you were to, well, let's back that up. Say you put $1,000 into a crypto and it pumped, 100x. So you have 100 grand, and then you sold it, and then you were just indiscriminately sell. Maybe the product had a lot of liquidity, so the price impact wasn't a big deal. You were able to sell 100K all at once, boom, and maybe you lost thousands of dollars from slippage and taxes and those sorts of things. And say at the end of everything, you have like 70 grand or 60 grand to play with. That's still a nice bag, right? You're still up, what, 59 grand. So it all depends on how you look at it, how big your bag is. Like, honestly, if you're putting a couple $100 into a token and like the token doesn't do shit, or excuse me, if you put $100 into a token and the token like 5x's, like $500, like it could be worth it, but keep all the other factors in mind too. You know what I mean? Like taxes on the crypto, like we said, like taxes for your government, then slippage. So it all depends, man. It's a lot. Hopefully that helped. But we have a $20 donation from Crypto Art. Says, even if you put your money aside for gains taxes, what if you put it in the bank that goes under? Pretty much fucked. Yeah, that is tough. That is tough. That's an extenuating circumstance though, that I'm sure like people would understand. But yeah, you got to be careful. Thank you so much for $20, Crypto Art. I do appreciate you. But the thing is, like 250,000 of that is insured, right? You're welcome, 100x altcoin. You're welcome, and thank you so much again, Crypto Art, for the 20 bomb. You guys have been so good, so generous with donations lately. I do appreciate you guys. I know it's tough to donate anything right now in this market, but you guys are fucking still donating, so I do appreciate that, guys. What are taxes, Professor Script? You better know what taxes are. Wait, the Telegram link is not working? Fan, it's in the description of this video. Oh, no, it's not. Hold on. My bad. I got you, Fan. I'll put it in the video. Oh, I switched up my description last night. That's why. Hold on. Hold it. All right. Boom. All right. Should be good to go, Fan. Boom, baby. Might have to refresh the page. All right. Give me 1 second. Hold on. Management's cutting my water off today because they're doing some sort of freaking I don't know, some maintenance or something like that. So I have to fill up a big ass water jug. Exactly. Yeah, you literally just need 10,000x and 1,000x. So are you in there, fan? Let's go. Professor Chris said, I just got my 2022 revenue bonus, and those efforts took 45% of it. Dude, I'm telling you, Professor, it's crazy. The taxes I have to pay this year are a lot, but I did a lot of write-offs, so my income's going to look pretty bad. But when you work from home, there's a lot of write-offs. There's like a ton of things you can write off. You know what I mean? This is why they say, we have your own business, like you pay less taxes because, like, you write off everything. Of course, you have to be accurate, right? You can't be writing off some dumb shit, but as long as it's legit. All right, fan, let's go, baby. Janet says, what's your real thoughts on the metaverse? I think it's a great intentions, but creepers will probably turn into Pornhub, unfortunately. Yeah, probably. Yeah. I mean, sex and everything like that. Our society's, motivated by a lot of that kind of stuff. And sex sells, you know what I mean? That's why on Twitter, or YouTube, if you have Instagram, if you have an Instagram page with, you squatting in your nice booty shorts, like, you know what I mean? Guys, sex sells, right? Sex sells. So it's not my water bill. I don't pay water in an apartment, but the plumbing is so bad here. Like, there's always like an issue. There's like an issue, like at least a few times a year, which management's good. Like, my landlord's actually like the homie. He actually sent me an email on my birthday. He was one of the first people to tell me birthday, which is some gangster shit. I've been here for a little bit, and the turnover was pretty crazy. Sometimes I only have a few neighbors that I've been here with since the beginning, but the plumbing's just so bad. So bad. Buy a house. I've been thinking about it, Jayhawk, but I mean, the average price for a house here is $800,000. I mean, I want to buy it, but I want a few $100,000 down, I would say. I know where I want to live, for sure. For sure. I'm thinking about it, but I don't know. We'll see. Is that why you go topless a lot? I just like the fact that you're so damn critical. What do you mean, Sebastian? Wait until the housing market crash. It may crash, but I'm gonna give it a few more years. I think maybe I want to have a house by the time I'm 40. Mostly, I don't think it's a bad idea. It's a big deal living in apartments, to be honest. Santa Barbara is so expensive. I thought San Diego was expensive, but let's see if there's any more breaking news. Yeah, $800K is the average price in San Diego. I think the median for the entire United States is about $350K, something like that, or $380K. But with that, guys, I'm going to be hopping over to Jake Gagan's channel for the crypto or for the Vaulted live stream. So make sure to hop over there. And then if you guys want to come join the Twitter later, we're doing a Vaulted live stream. What the fuck is this guy calling me right now? I don't know why this guy's calling me right now. Go ahead and hop over there. If you guys want to come hang out and participate in the $500 giveaway, Vault giveaway, we're having a live space at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for the Crypto Hour. Come hang. All right, y'all. You guys have a fantastic one. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and I will see you very, very soon. And today may or may not be streaming live tonight. I'll keep you posted. I'll let you know in the Telegram, so come hang out. Okay, bye-bye now. Bye.